One day I'm gonna be everything I wanna be. I don't let it get the most of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be everything I'm gonna be. My future right in front of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be free. Then let me be.
From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges. A host with a fire burning in his soul. With a heart, steel, and a spirit unbroken. He rides on two wheels, ready to claim his throne. Amidst the chaos and the thunderous roar, insane wheels rise as a force to be reckoned with. Fueled by the power that only metal can bestow. He takes his stand, refusing to submit. Insane wheels hear his battle cry. Metal and mayhem will never die. Whistlers report and pace his way. More legend in the making, day by day.
Man, this shit has all happened super damn quick. For some reason, it feels like Monday through Thursday today are, well, all the way up till today. It went by real quick. Thursday's here, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully everyone's enjoying their morning, evening, afternoon, wherever the hell you guys are from. Much love and respect to everybody. We got a lot to cover, as you guys see from what I have titled here. I guess there was a 10-hour strike in Ukraine, and then following that, of course, Trump is, involving himself and us to give Ukraine more aid and weapons. And then we have historic flooding happening in North Carolina. I believe that happened last night or this morning, but I have it all lined up, ready to go. As well as CEO of X steps down. This is not Elon Musk. It's a woman. I can't remember her name exactly, but nonetheless, we're going to get into all of that. But before we do, make sure you guys come in and hit that like button. Helps out the show immensely, and it's free to do so. If you guys are brand new to the show, hit that subscribe button because it's also free. Please consider becoming a member, though, starting at $2.99 a month, making sure we're not breaking the bank out there with anybody. But check it out. This is exactly how we get to speak the way that we do. And we don't cater to any type of views for money around here. We cater to you guys here in the Breakfast Club for making this very shit happen. Little side note, follow my Instagram right here at BallValveTV, where I post everything behind the scenes of not only my life, but as well as the show and Millennial Food Time and breaking news. It's been a thing that I've been doing nonstop over there on BallValveTV over there on Instagram, so make sure you guys follow that. Last but not least, for call to actions, every super chat, super sticker, gifted membership signups, all of these things are, of course, going to be presented live onto the show. But if you guys would like to skip that YouTube 30% brutal cut that they take from you, we'll check it out. It actually takes it away from both of us, I guess. But nonetheless, we have these platforms right here that you guys can donate to and have 100% of your hard-earned cash go to your favorite content creator out there. Shit.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
But for the pocket watchers out there, this is specific.
Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Donate. Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Donate. Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Donate some freaking.
Shit. We got Brother Mark up in the building, as well as Steve Easy saying, yeah, getting meds in the South is a nightmare. Yeah, especially in the South. Rabbit of Chaos, good morning to you. Good to see you as well. We got Brother Beezer, old Beezer Geezer up in the building. Good to see you as well. Lappy, my man, good morning. And I'm scrolling my way through, making sure we're not missing anybody. We got Wild Card, my man. Good morning to you as well. Weed, motorcycles, and freedom is all I need. Absolutely, I'm with you on that shit. I'm with you on that. But you forgot Poo-Tang. You forgot that. So, anyways, we got KP Nordic up in here. Good morning to you as well. We got Kel in Canada. Good morning. Gary, my man. Good to see you, as well as Slim, fam Damley. We got Happy Thor's Day. Respect and love. You know who you are. Absolutely, Slim. Good to see you hanging out with us this morning. All right, so I'm making sure we're all caught up. We got Brennan as well. Brennan, hopefully I'm saying that right. Brennan Smith. Hopefully you're enjoying the morning as well. We're about to get crazy with this shit, but before we do, because Beezer just dropped it like it's hot, gifting out a membership. Thank you, kind sir. Very much appreciate that. And yes, Poo-Tang and whiskey is the combo. All right, so, or tequila, depends on the mood. We got Frederick Frame as well. Good morning, kind sir. Good to see you. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start off with the X headlines, okay? CEO steps down, which is a chick. I forget what her name is. We're going to find out. Musk responds to the Grok messages where there was like a whole bunch of anti-Semitic rhetoric that was coming out of Grok, which, if you guys don't know, Grok is owned by Elon Musk, and that is his AI platform. So because of that scandal of what it was spitting out, it's ironic that there was this, CEO stepping down of X, and definitely you're going to see these guys, they're going to totally cross-examine and go, well, is that because of what Grok did and stuff? So we'll go ahead and see that together right here, right now.
Hi, and welcome back here to Live Now from Fox. I'm Andrew Kraft. Let's keep it moving with more of these headlines. We're going to probably take around 20 minutes and devote some coverage to so many of these tech headlines that have come out over the last 24 hours. We want to start, though, with X. We learned earlier today that the CEO of X, or should I say former CEO, Linda Yaccarino, said she's stepping down after 2 bumpy years running Elon Musk's social media platform. She posted a positive message today about her tenure at the company, formerly known as...
What's up, NBC? Good to see you, kind sir, over there in Taiwan. My man, good to see you.
Twitter, as you know, and she said, quote, "The best is yet to come as
I remember.
X enters a new chapter with Musk's AI company, XAI, which is the maker of the chatbot, Grok." What I want to do right now is read from some of the statement here. If we could put that up. Let's refresh that statement. In the meantime, though, Musk responded to Yaccarino's announcement with his own 5-word statement on X, saying, quote,
5-word statement?
"Thank you for your contributions."
That's it. Thank you for your contributions. I guess it could have been a lot worse.
So I want to bring into the conversation right now some of our tech policy analysts that we rely on for stories like this, including our friend John Swartz. He joins me. John, so good of you to be with us here. Did you see this coming?
John, can we hear you?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, what the fuck?
Did you see this coming?
Well, it was inevitable that Linda Yaccarino was going to leave X. I mean, as you said, it's been a bumpy couple of years. They've lost a lot of advertisers. They've basically stripped down their content moderation. She spent as much...
Well, the truth is a lot of the advertisement that happens on, let's say, YouTube, stuff like that, Facebook, X, when they start monetizing shit and they throw out ads on videos or posts or whatever the hell it is on whatever social media, it's hard. It's a catch-22 because you have freedom of speech and then you have the advertisers. The advertisers are not going to allow you to freely speak whatever the fuck you want. And if they do, they look at that as a liability and they pull out. You know what I mean? So it's definitely interesting how it would affect over there on X because of the free speech type of behavior that they like to try to show that they do, even though they still ban people, they still censor people.
Of her time defending the company and herself as trying to build it. And the only thing I think was unfortunate was her timing. It was just ironic, or maybe it was only fitting that she resigned the day after Grok kind of went on this.
Dark Soul, my man, good morning, good morning. And like I said, what he just said right there, it's kind of interesting that Grok had this issue yesterday and then this CEO steps down basically right after, and he bears a valid question there.
It's just ironic, or maybe it was only fitting that she resigned the day after Grok kind of went on this wild anti-Semitic screed that XAI did resolve Tuesday
Christopher
night.
Collins.
I mean, the timing was terrible, and it almost kind of feeds into this idea that that X is just kind of become a cesspool of commentary, unhinged behavior that's not moderated or guarded in any way, which actually hurt it with the major advertisers.
Right.
So, John, I have to ask,
like I said,
should we connect the two? Or is that a leap too far? Is that a leap too far? Did she step down today because of the issues, and we could get into those, that Grok 4.0 experienced yesterday?
Right. So she didn't mention anything about what happened with Grok, and nor did she say it had anything to do with her leaving. She really didn't give a reason for leaving.
Of course not. If she didn't give a reason, that was the reason.
I guess she decided after 2 years she'd probably been through enough and seen enough. And I think unfortunately for her, she had a great reputation.
Damn, that is a major W. We got Steve Posey saying, wow, we got 26 likes already, and we only have 18 right now that are watching. Big W to the Breakfast Club. Thank you guys for making that shit happen. I didn't have to repeat myself 20 times this live stream, so I appreciate that. And real quick, we also have my man Papa Penguin. Good morning to you as well. Is there any AI that hasn't been manipulated into going on some sort of wild rant? Well, I think the hardest thing about AI is it basically is like a child. Whatever information you're providing it, it's basically going to eventually spit back out like a child does. It takes in as much information from the public, and then it eventually sometimes throws out shit like this. And yes, it can go on to some sort of wild rant that looks like it was, like, let's say Elon Musk that specifically had to answer that way or whatever the case was. It wasn't. It wasn't that. AI is very interesting on the way that it collects its data and then reviews it and then spits back out information. It's like a child. It's very interesting.
She came over from NBC Universal, where she was a top ad executive, very well respected. And this experience
Good morning,
for her,
Tiffany.
It just seemed negative from day one. And by the time she left, I'm sure she'll land on her feet, but it did incredible damage to her reputation. And I think what makes it even worse, as you said, is you only, as a human being, you only can make a connection between these two events, even though she said it really didn't have anything to do with it, or she indicated it had nothing to do with it. I think she just got tired of the chaos. It would have been probably better if she had left a week ago or waited a couple more weeks before she left.
So Elon Musk posting this, like I said, Linda, thank you for your contributions. I want to read just a little bit more, though.
His 5-word statement.
Her post on X. She says, after 2 incredible years...
Now, this is what she stated.
Decided to step down as CEO of X. When Elon Musk and I first spoke of his vision for X, I knew it would be the opportunity of a lifetime to carry out the extraordinary mission of this company. I'm immensely grateful to him for entrusting me with the responsibility of protecting free speech, turning the company around, and transforming X into the everything app. I'm incredibly proud of the X team. The historic business turnaround we have accomplished together has been nothing short of remarkable, she says. John, I got to ask, this is the 30,000-foot view question that I like to ask. Why should our viewers, I mean, we're doing this segment, why should our viewers care who leads X? What if they don't even use X? Should they care about this story?
They really probably shouldn't. I mean, judging from the traffic and the number of people who've left and the lack of chatter about X in general, it probably is a non-starter, as you said. Most people have even no idea who the CEO of X is. They probably think it's Elon Musk. I was talking to a colleague of mine, and he had assumed it was he's a millennial.
Real quick, we got Gunpowder Nitro, my man, coming in hot. With the 5-spot Naomi saying, because eyebrows with the 5-spot, man. Hey, thank you so much for throwing them dollars around. I really appreciate that. Give you a little extra look at the brows in the left-handed tobacco, you know what I mean? Feels ultra good. We got Brother Frank as well. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Good morning.
Well, and he just assumed it was a man who ran the company because he has nothing to do with X. And I think in a sense, X is now existing in this world, like Facebook to a lesser extent, where TikTok and Instagram, in a sense, those are the social media apps in use. YouTube, and this is kind of a reflection of where the market is going. It's just skewing younger. And in terms of advertising, it's kind of, I think it's also going to be moving more towards the companies that are successful doing AI-related search. And I think Google's in a great position with Chrome. I think Perplexity, which made an announcement today, is going to go in that direction. I think Apple is very interested in buying Perplexity, as is Meta, because of what Perplexity does in terms of search and AI. So I think there's a totally different dynamic. I mean, you and I think of X as Twitter, and we think of it as Jack Dorsey. And
okay, so I think we got enough of the story here. There's not going to be any more that's going to be given to us that you guys didn't already just understand there from that whole front half of that video. So we're going to move on into U.S. weapons headed to Ukraine after Russia launches massive 10-hour strike. So this is going to be insane. This is actually one of the main things I have labeled up on today's show. And it is a little bit of a longer segment. So, of course, if there's any monotonous bullshit or anything that we don't need to hear, we'll go ahead and skip.
Let's keep it international, though, with several other conferences and events happening overseas. I previewed it just before the commercial break. Ukrainian
Brother Glare 1%, my man. Good to see you, my man. Hopefully you're enjoying your Thirsty Thursday so far as well.
President Volodymyr Zelensky down there in Italy attending a conference. I want to showcase this, a post on X from the Ukrainian president earlier on today, saying this. Last night, Russia launched a massive combined strike that lasted nearly 10 hours. 18 missiles, including ballistic ones, and around 400 attack drones were used. Nearly 200 of them were Shaheds.
So this was a separate attack, a whole separate attack than the one that we reported yesterday with the insane amount of drones and the missiles, because the missiles that were launched, I don't think it was 18, it was 11 or something like that. So I don't know if this is a different strike or if this is referring to the same strike. I'm not really sure, but they did target Kyiv the first time, so this may be exactly what they're talking about here. But interesting enough, if they would have used the accurate drone numbers, so 400 attack drones were used. Well, there was actually a specific number that was used on the first report. So that's where I'm kind of basing that.
Target of the attack was Kyiv and the region. That war in the area continuing to escalate. This comes as President Trump has ordered that more defense weapons be sent to Ukraine amid their ongoing war.
Why?
And earlier on this morning, before we came...
Why are we giving them more fucking... You know what that means when we give them more, money? We give them more weapons, whatever the case is. You're extending the length of this war. You're actually helping contribute to the war, even though, yes, people on one side or the other may be getting decimated, and they think that if they were to help them, that ultimately what ends up happening here is that you end up paying or giving just more death. That's all what it boils down to, is you're just contributing to more and more death. Why would you want to do that? I just don't understand that. But anyways, back to this.
Live on the air, we did see that the Ukrainian president made some statements there at this summit happening now in Italy. Let's get to those remarks next.
True, Papa. That's a good way to put it.
Thank you so much. Dear
real
friends,
quick, before we hear this dipshit fucking speak real quick, we got Dark Soul coming in with the membership, my man. Thank you for signing up for his first month. Absolutely appreciate that. And gifts out one as well, making it rain, man. Very much appreciate you guys. And welcome back, Brother Slim, hanging out with us. Good to see you. Let's see, we got Grid 1 Motorsports, my man. Hopefully you're enjoying your Thirsty Thursday morning as well. Let's get at it, man.
dear Georgia, thank you very much for your kind words, very strong words, for your support. Thank you for warmly hosting this important...
We got a Just White raid. Hey, thank you for the raid on over here. We have a lot of shit that's going on in the world, I'm sure that you guys have seen. Very much appreciate everyone that's coming in and hanging out with us. We report world news, geopolitics, breaking news over here. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but it's definitely mine. You know what I mean? So I very much appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Today, we're specifically talking about the 10-hour strike that happened in Ukraine overnight, and as well as the United States handing out more weapons to Ukraine. And then we have a historic flooding that happened in North Carolina yesterday, or last night, rather, being reported this morning. So not only do we have Texas that was completely fucking underwater, basically, then we had yesterday as well, we had New Mexico be added onto that list, and 3 more people died in that whole ordeal. Houses being thrown down like freaking rivers and shit. It was insane. Or the flash floods, rather. And then now we have a new ordeal in North Carolina. So it's a very sad time right now. So, and we just finished going off about the CEO of X stepping down. And it's not Elon Musk. It's some chick. I forget what her name is. But she, after 2 years, is over it. So anyways, we're moving on into Ukraine. Appreciate the raid, Jess.
Meeting for Ukraine, for Ukrainians. Dear Ursula, Antonio, Friedrich, Peter, Donald, Eddie, Pedro, Dick, Rosen, Petri, Kristen, Kyriakos, Miloiko, all the leaders and all the participants of the conference and all who stand with Ukraine today. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you all for your attention to Ukraine, to the needs of our people.
Man, yo, I'm going to be honest. Fuck Russia and fuck Ukraine. For real. Fuck these guys. These guys are dicks.
First of all, and to our...
This guy right here is just a blood-sucking leech off the United States and the rest of the world, begging for money nonstop. That's what he does. Loves going into NATO and begging for more support, which means money.
Our shared responsibility to do everything necessary to protect life.
Sick bastard.
Russia has also prepared for this meeting. Just last night, they launched another massive attack on Ukraine, mainly targeting our capital, Kyiv. The attack involved Russian, Iranian Shahid drones. These drones have been heavily upgraded to cause more destruction and to be harder to shoot down. Ukrainians now face attacks by hundreds of these drones every single night. And this is pure terrorism. The night before last, they launched over 700 drones.
Okay, so the night before last. So that was the original thing that we reported on, not yesterday, but the day before. No, it was yesterday, but what the actual event happened the night prior. Right. So this is the exact same launch and strikes with these drones and the 18 ballistic missiles, which is the biggest attack that's happened yet on Ukraine from Russia. It's the biggest one yet. And that was a 10-hour strike. So this is him basically probably going to come up here, explain that, and then say how he needs support.
Missiles. Last night, nearly 400. And they try to do this as often as possible. And this is exactly what Putin wants, for our people to suffer, to flee Ukraine, and for homes, schools.
How come sometimes he sounds French? To suffer.
Life itself to be destroyed everywhere, not just near the front lines. Remember, just a year ago, many people thought Russia wanted real peace, real talks.
That's right, Cindy.
And a ceasefire. Moscow was sending those signals, and it was all part of their propaganda, trying to say that Ukraine didn't want peace. But we said back then, there must be pressure on Russia because it was not preparing for peace. And now everyone sees that Putin has rejected every peace proposal and is escalating the violence. Just last night in Kyiv alone, sadly, 2 people were killed and 16.
Real quick, we got Brother Joseph up there, our favorite snow Canadian, snow Mexican actually. Well, you know, he's up there in Canada. Said, good morning, Mr. Ball, Lucy, Breakfast Crew, BNC, and cannot forget the haters. Forget Russia, stop the cat.
Stop the cat.
Gee, I'm so used to saying the haters that I actually read that over, which is hilarious. But good to see you, Joseph.
A medical lab was completely destroyed. Residential buildings, a shopping center, a veterinary clinic, and basic city infrastructure were all damaged. And that was with many of the drones and missiles being shut down. Still, some made it through. And this is what we must focus on first. We must stop Russian drones and missiles. And this means more air defense supplies and more investments in interceptor drones, air defense systems, and of course missiles. And I urge all our partners, increase your investments. When Russia increases its attacks, we cannot have a shortage of funding for drone production. More than 30 countries and hundreds of companies are represented at the conference today.
Man, fuck this
guy. And we must reach a point where...
Okay, how much longer are you... Oh my God. We're not listening to this whole fucking thing. There's no way I can listen to this Ukrainian prattle.
Where Ukraine's air defense and drone sector is supported by over 30 countries and backed by hundreds of companies, not only from Ukraine, but also from Europe, the United States, and beyond. Please speak to our team for details. Ukraine has some of the world's...
Please speak to our cabinet so you can give us more money. That's where you can send the donations to. Shit.
Most advanced drone technologies for both offensive and defensive. And we are ready to share this expertise and these technologies with our partners. Ukraine needs investment. You need skills. You need technology. And everything we are building now to protect Ukraine will also help protect you. Secondly, I'm grateful to all countries that are part of the coalition supporting Ukraine's defense. We've created really effective coalitions, effective drone coalition, and you can see how drones help us hold frontline and strike Russian military infrastructure deep inside Russia. We also have a strong aviation coalition. Thank you to all.
Okay. Let's just go ahead and skip a little bit and see if he gets to any type of point here.
And so they are not used against Ukraine in war or sabotage when they grow up. This is a very serious threat, and we must stand against it together. Just like
oh my God,
these coalitions are working, we now
this
need
guy's gonna have a forever fucking war with this attitude, bro.
To build a coalition for recovery. Let this be the moment we start it. We know what Russia has destroyed, and we know what it will take to rebuild Ukraine.
He's
Ukrainian
always
people,
begging.
our lives.
Achilles, always begging.
A systematic approach is needed, a coalition with clear leadership, countries and companies that can lead and bring others with them. And we also need a clear recovery plan. Think of the role the Marshall Plan played in rebuilding and transforming Europe. That's why.
Yeah, I conceded that yesterday, Dark Soul, because it's funny because we have a nice little bet going on between me and Papa Penguin in the chat. And this happened, we put this bet on before Trump was elected. We said, if Trump is elected, how long do we think that, Russia-Ukraine will basically end? How quickly within his presidency? Well, I took the underside of that, and he's definitely going to win. Damn it. And I conceded to that yesterday.
Europe has enjoyed peace and economic growth for so many decades. And now we have real opportunity to spark a new wave of progress. We need a Marshall Plan style approach, and we should develop it together.
True. Fucking great.
Rebuilding Ukraine is not just about our country. It's also about your countries, your companies, your technology.
I'm over it. Over it. We're moving on. All right. So we got tropical storm. I guess they're calling it Chantal. Brings historic flooding to North Carolina. So let's go ahead and move on into that. These are some shorter stories here. Let's go ahead and run into the ordeal here.
Welcome back, and thank you all for joining us here at Live Now from Fox on this Thursday. My name is Carla Hara, and for the past several days, we have been really focused on some severe weather events, not only just in Texas with those deadly flash flooding scenes that we have been showcasing.
And in New Mexico, which we reported on yesterday, and now North Carolina.
Recently, we saw that New Mexico experiencing something similar, and then over the weekend, we saw a tropical storm Chantal. It hit parts of South Carolina and North Carolina. That is also causing some flash flooding concerns. Joining us now live down in North Carolina is Fox
100%.
Weather's Brandy Campbell. Brandy, what are you seeing? Cleanup is underway there.
Good morning to you. Yes, you can see it behind me. You can probably hear it here in Chapel Hill. You can see contractors right here. They're just working to go ahead and get rid of a lot of the things that they've cleared out of this community center clubhouse here in a community of condos where residents dealt with flooding over the weekend from Tropical Storm Chantal. And so as you can see, the flooding, the water was high enough to really call for them to just get rid of everything that was inside, just really devastating this community right here. And so I want to talk to you about what happened and show you video of the flooding from Sunday. You can see.
That's what I was hoping to see. I want to see, it's unfortunate the cleanup they're doing right now, but I want to see the actual video of it.
Creeks and rivers in this area, some of them just turned into a raging river. Instead, we saw up to 5 feet of flooding here in Chapel Hill on Sunday, and unfortunately the impacts from Chantal is the blame for several deaths reported in this region of North Carolina. Now overnight for Wednesday, we had heavy rain in addition to what happened over the weekend, and it called for, once again, emergency alerts. So we had warnings of flash flooding popping up on our phones late at night. It closed down several roads and stranded drivers. And unfortunately, once again, today we have rain on the forecast, and it's an unwelcomed forecast, especially for those impacted here in Chapel Hill. Yesterday, we met resident Roger Gilly. He lives here. He says he's lived here for 6 years.
Man.
This was the 4th time his home flooded. Take a listen.
Damn.
I've been here so long, I'm used to watch it come up and then go down and not really flood as bad as it did this time. But this time it just kept rising. They got us out pretty quick and in an orderly fashion. Everybody was all right and everybody was safe. So that was the main thing. A lot of damage.
Yeah, he's got to feel like he's getting a good bargain for, the minerals and the resources, the resource deal. That's probably what it ultimately comes down to. He's got to get more money from us. Shit.
But, everybody was safe.
We're not ending this shit till I get financially better.
Yeah, just really unfortunate news again, as I mentioned, for that gentleman. This was the 4th time that his home here in this community has flooded. And if we can take just a quick pan, you can see this is one of the buildings with the different condos that people live in. It's about 60 units that have been flooded. Now, outside of Chapel Hill, about 30 minutes northwest of the city, you'll find the city of Mabane. And I want to point out that area because yesterday they actually issued a declaration of water shortage because during Chantal, they actually received damage.
So they actually have a water shortage even during flash flooding. Wow, what the fuck?
To their water treatment plant, and so they have that city under a level 5 for water restriction, saying they only, as of yesterday, had enough drinking water available for the city for 2 days. Possibly 2 days. So right now, they don't have an estimate on how long that issue will last, but they did request or order businesses to shut down with an exception of a couple of different businesses. So think of your pharmacies, grocery stores, and for people at home, they're asking you not to drink or use water unless you need it for drinking purposes and you don't have water bottles at home.
Damn,
so the last thing I want to point out, what's next? Well, if you are along the East Coast today, we still have storms. So places like DC, you are under a level 1 out of 4 flood threat. Here, Virginia, North Carolina, parts of South Carolina, we're under a level 2 out of 4 flood threat, and we're actually under a flood watch until 2 a.m. So, yeah, so much going on in this part of the region, the Mid-Atlantic, but as you have mentioned already, Texas, I mean, that's such a devastating situation. About 120, I believe, at this point, killed from their situation with the Guadalupe River rising, and then, of course, in New Mexico, too. So,
yeah, that's terrible. So, yeah, I mean, like someone said in the chat, shows Beezer, I think, said it, shows that no place is safe. And damn straight. So real quick, we have some words coming from Marco Rubio on ending the Ukraine-Russia war. Quote, "It's a waste of lives." Yes, I agree. It is 100% a waste of lives. This is retarded, to be quite honest.
Mr. Secretary, Russia has launched its most massive attacks in the last 3 days, and you of course saw your counterpart today. Are you willing now to put stronger sanctions on Russia?
Well, the president has said that that's an option that's available to him, both under existing authorities, but primarily if the Senate and the House can pass legislation that gives them the opportunity to do that. So we've been engaging with Congress on what that bill would look like. Obviously, the president needs flexibility on how those sanctions would be applied and when. Because it gives them, maximum leverage in any conversation and negotiation. So he has talked about that as being a real option. And now, obviously, we've been engaging with the Senate in particular over the last week on what that bill will look like. And the leaders of both chambers have said that they're prepared to begin to move forward on that. We've expressed this to the Russians weeks ago. We told them that at the moment would come where something like this could happen. And we'll continue to express it because that's the reality.
But has the moment come or not yet?
Well, again, that's the president's decision to make. He's frustrated by the fact that more progress has not been made.
Mr. Secretary, there were reports earlier this week that you and the president are unaware that the Pentagon had made a decision to at least temporarily halt the arms shipments to Ukraine. What's your take on that decision by the Pentagon, and what is your general take?
Well, I think that that decision unfortunately was mischaracterized. It was a pause pending review on a handful of specific type munitions. That, frankly, is something that is logical that you would do, especially after an extended engagement that we saw both in defense of Israel and in defense of our own bases. And so it was a very limited review of certain types of munitions to ensure that we had sufficient stockpiles. And it's typical when you do these reviews that there's a short-term pause because if, in fact, the review comes back that you have a shortage,
literally what you guys are saying in the chat is 100% true. Kicking the damn can down the road. Just hurry up and wait.
Can't pull it back once it's been sent. But generally speaking, aid to Ukraine continues along the schedule that Congress appropriated.
Which types were paused? Which types of weapons were paused?
Largely defensive in nature. Some were offensive. But again, the ones that were expended in recent conflicts in the Middle East. And again, not because there is a shortage, but because it's prudent to look at it and say, okay, do we have enough of these in our stockpiles for all of our obligations around the world, both in defense of our bases in the Middle East, but also our obligations to our Indo-Pacific partners and any other contingencies that might arise. But in the end, I would say that the overwhelming majority of defensive...
What's up, Sage? Good morning to you, kind sir. Hopefully you're enjoying your thirsty Thursday so far.
Military aid that the United States provides Ukraine has never been paused and continues along the the same schedules that it's been. I think there's a broader issue unrelated to the pause, and that involves the defense productive capabilities of the West, not just us, but of Europe. As an example, one of the things that the Ukrainians need is more Patriot batteries. There are Patriot batteries available in multiple countries in Europe, yet no one wants to part with them. So I hope that
you're not even joking, Mark. You're not even joking, dude. It's crazy hard to get something as nice as what I've got, which is really lame for, you know, the amputee community or whatever. It's really lame because the way that you have to fight for it is it's just like any other insurance deal. It's fucking crazy. It sucks. It sucks because they even me now, they say that I can only have one leg every 3 years. And those one leg, usually they try to give you some really cheap shit. They try to give you some like $10,000, $15,000. Now, to you guys, $10,000, $15,000 in a leg sounds very expensive. It's not. The leg that I'm wearing is a six-figure leg right now.
Change. Even fact that Ukraine is a priority that so many countries in Europe say it is, they should be willing to share batteries that right now they don't have a need to use. So hopefully we'll be able to convince some of our NATO partners to provide those Patriot batteries to Ukraine, because there are a number of countries that have them, but no one wants to part with what they have. So perhaps that'll change. That's important.
Mr. Secretary, you mentioned wanting to see a roadmap for how this conflict can conclude. What concrete ideas have you presented, and how did Russia respond in this meeting?
Well, again, these things are best negotiated. I don't want to in private, and that's how these things generally work. There were some ideas exchanged today, some viewpoints that they expressed to us that I'll take back to the president for his consideration, and hopefully it will lead to something. I don't want to overpromise. I mean, again, as I said, this is a conflict that's been going on now for over three years, and as has already been pointed out by one of the questions here.
All right, so it looks like that this is going to be prolonged, kicking the can down the fucking road.
More than we see our own families, and so
yeah. Okay. All right, Rubio, we're done with you too. We're done with you too, dude. All right, let's go ahead and move into the next ordeal. We have dozens rescued from a collapsed tunnel in Los Angeles County. This is being broken an hour ago, so this is very interesting. I haven't seen it yet. I've only have it queued, ready to go. Let's go ahead and figure out what's going on together.
Officials are breathing a sigh of relief after more than 30 construction workers in an industrial tunnel in Los Angeles reached safety after it partially collapsed. The cave-in occurred between the tunnel boring machine 5 miles from the entrance and the construction workers who were working 6 miles in. The workers, who were about 400 feet underground, scrambled over loose soil more than 12 feet high to reach the tunnel boring machine, and then were transported back to the opening. This aerial footage is showing workers being brought out of...
Maybe that'll be the next place that I go to when I get another prosthesis grid. Maybe I'll go up there in Tennessee.
The tunnel in a yellow cage hoisted up by a crane. So again, that is some of that footage there. And we are awaiting more updates on this story, but I did want to share with you this press conference that we have not shown you yet here on Live Now from Fox, of officials in Los Angeles speaking on this.
LAFD resources responded to 1701 North Figueroa Avenue to a confined space. We were very lucky this time. We had over 100 resources that were here, over 100 firefighters and paramedics here to respond to this incident.
That's right, brother. So
Use our
loud.
capabilities.
Good morning.
We also even prepared
and hopefully you guys out there in North Carolina are doing all right, man. Prayers are being sent. Of course, everybody from, Texas, New Mexico, North Carolina, man, you guys are in all of our prayers.
Hats off to the incident commanders that were on scene, that we ordered enough resources. Also, we had air resources prepared for any air ambulance rescues. It was determined that a structure failure of the tunnel lining failed approximately 5 to 6 miles in, trapping that we thought 27 individuals. 4 actually went in to rescue, to assist. So a total of 31, and a total of 31 were evaluated afterwards. And that is still continuing on as we speak. The workers had to climb through debris. They had to make themselves out through, and then rescuers actually came to them to assist them out. So what we're doing now, as far as the LAFD is concerned, and with this work site, is we're going to continue our relationship with the workers that are here to make sure that it's a safe site. And
my brother Bill Castle over there in Washington State. Aloha, my man.
LAFD will be here at all times. So at this time, I'd like to introduce a Congresswoman, Ronnie Villanueva.
Thank you. I want to start by thanking the LA Fire Department for and the workers for their courageous work, the men and the women who, when the call came in, did not hesitate, came right out.
Real quick, this is why, Jay, this is exactly why I have this stance America first. And you guys have seen, even when it would have been very convenient for me in the moment to change that viewpoint of, you know, hey, yeah, let's go ahead and bomb the shit out of Iran or whatever the case is. You guys have always seen that, at least in my worldview, I look at this as it needs to be United States first. That's it. Fuck everyone else. Honestly, I can give two fucks what you guys do outside of our borders, dude. Really don't give a fuck. As long as you're not giving us direct, conflict or, terroristic threats or anything type like shit like that, then okay, we're not a direct, we don't have a threat right this second. Well, then what the fuck are we doing, dude? We need to take care of our own people, dude. We're putting too much focus on a geopolitical landscape. And I'm the guy that loves geopolitics. But for us in the United States, we need to focus on our own, damn it.
Did the work of making sure that we did everything they could to rescue the workers. The Clearwater project is more than a construction effort. It's a critical investment in our region's future. In 2022, the Environmental Protection Agency invested $441 million in this project to help modernize our wastewater infrastructure. And this work is going to protect public health. It's going to safeguard our environment and ensure cleaner water for generations to come. But we must never forget that these large infrastructure projects require workers that take great risk. And tonight it was great to be able to talk to a few of those workers to describe their ordeal, to describe what they went through. They're shooken up. But as was said, it was a lucky night, and it was one where they're safe. And that's what we're focused on. And I'm proud of the
What's up, Miss Lotus over there in Florida? Good to see you.
Effort here with federal, local government, our mayor, our supervisor, who have been doing an incredible job in leading the city and, coming out for our workers. So,
man, that's terrible. I wonder, here comes Karen Bass. We got to hear what the fuck this moron has to say. It's going to give me some emotional damage, though. I promise you that does suck. All right.
What started out as a very...
I already have emotional damage from what she said. Emotional damage. I can't stand this woman.
Frightening evening. I know when we raced down here, I was so concerned.
What are you bobbing your head for?
Tragedy. Instead,
you are bobbing your head like straight up bobblehead, bro. Look at that shit.
Our interim fire chief. What started out as a very frightening evening. I know when we raced down here, I was so concerned that we were going to find tragedy. Instead, what we found was victory. All of the men that were in that tunnel rescued, up, safe. We had an opportunity to speak with them. We had an opportunity to make sure that they were able to reach their family members.
Well, she is in LA after all. She probably has the greatest connects. Get the purest, most highly purified base she can get.
Family members knew they were safe. There were many anxious family members who were here waiting to make sure that their relatives were okay. We spoke with the paramedics while the paramedics examined the men as they came up. And I just have to tell you that we're all blessed today in Los Angeles. No one injured, everyone's safe. And I am feeling very, very good that this is a great outcome in what started as a very scary evening. And so with that, I want to introduce our supervisor for the area and my former colleague, Janice Hahn. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Bass, and it's great to be here tonight with you, Mayor, with the Congresswoman, with the council member, Tim McCosker. I feel the same way. When we first got the call, I came over here, sometimes you think the worst, but we are so lucky tonight, and we are so blessed tonight that all of the men came up, they came out, they're alive, and they're reasonably well. So besides being an LA County supervisor, I sit on the board of directors for the LA County Sanitation District, and this is an LA...
Okay. I really don't care about what this bitch has got to say either. All right, so let's go ahead and see if there's any updated news on this side of... There is. Okay, so this is breaking as of 40 minutes ago. Trump's birthright citizenship ban paused by judge. So let's go ahead and figure out what the hell this is going on about. Here we go. This whole birthright citizenship. We knew this is going to cause some controversy legally.
Also at this hour, we are following some breaking news as a judge has now ruled on President Trump's birthright order. This is a live look right here of the White House. This coming in to our live now from Fox Studios just moments ago that a judge has blocked President Trump's birthright citizenship order. So the very latest from Reuters is that a federal judge today has again barred.
Honestly, I'm not tuned in to what's going on with France this morning. I'm going to be 100% honest. Damn, I'm going to go ahead and do a little research right now while this is speaking.
President Trump's administration from enforcing his executive order limiting birthright citizenship nationwide after the U.S. Supreme Court restricted the ability of judges to block his policies using nationwide injunctions. The U.S. District Judge from Concord, New Hampshire, made this ruling after immigrant rights advocates asked him to grant class action status to a lawsuit that they filed seeking to represent babies whose citizenship status would be threatened by implementation of President Trump's directive. Now, the judge agreed.
Are you talking about, Grid? Are you talking about into regards of the UK-France migrant deal? Is that what you're talking about?
The plaintiffs could proceed as a class, allowing him to issue a fresh judicial order blocking implementation of President Trump's policy nationally. The question of whether to issue an injunction was, quote, not a close call, end quote.
That's crazy.
Those are the direct words from the judge himself as he issued this order. He noted children could be deprived of U.S. citizenship if President Trump's order took effect. The judge also writing, quote, that's irreparable harm, citizenship alone. It is the greatest privilege that exists in the world, end quote. Now, the judge said he would stay his ruling for a few days to allow the Trump administration to appeal and would also issue a written decision by the end of today. The ACLU and others filed the suit just hours after the Supreme Court issued a 6-3 ruling back on June 27th, powered by its conservative majority that narrowed 3 nationwide injunctions issued by judges in separate challenges to President Trump's directive. That suit was filed on behalf of non-U.S. citizens living in the United States whose babies might be affected. So bringing you some breaking news at this hour that a federal judge has blocked President Trump's birthright citizenship order.
Saw that shit coming.
So he is allowing the Trump administration to appeal, staying his ruling for several days. Any new information, any response from President Trump or some of his officials, we, of course, will bring that to you as we continue to follow the top stories of the day.
Damn. We all saw that shit coming. That's what, anytime Trump does anything, legally, they go after him any type of way they can, blocking his shit, whatever the case is. We're used to this. This is something that this is not, we're not new around these parts. We know this shit happens all the fucking time, don't we? So, listen, ladies and gentlemen, I can't thank each and every single one of you guys enough for hanging out with us. You guys could have been anywhere else in the world, but you guys decided to be right here with me, man. I'm very honored by that. Very much appreciate your guys' contributions to the channel, whether you guys are engaging in the chat, hitting that like button. It's free to do so, by the way. And listen, make sure you guys stick around for the raid. We're going to be raiding our buddy Rob Noor, so stick around for that. And listen, I really can't let you guys know that I appreciate you guys more than anything, man. So until tomorrow for more of the world's madness, listen, much love and God bless to everybody.
From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges.